games into his college career, former Wisconsin running back James Whitz cost his team a touchdown with the first quarter fumble during a 27-14 win over San Jose State in 2010. Whitz had taken a handoff from quarterback Scott Tolzien at the visitors' 9-yard line, his 14th carry as a Badger and just his third in front of the home crowd at Camp Randall, and as he attempted to extend the ball across the goal line, a Spartans player knocked it loose and out of the end zone for a touchback. The turnover was a devastating blow for Whitz, at the time an undersized three-star recruit trying to prove his worth in a loaded Wisconsin backfield that featured Montee and John Clay. As Whitz sulked to the sideline following the play, then Badgers coach Bret Bielema didn't lose his cool with his unheralded freshman. Instead, he coached him up. "I remember I came up to him," Bielema recalled Tuesday in a phone interview with Fox Sports. "And I told him, remember this play the rest of your career. Never reach the ball into the end zone. Run the ball into the end zone." More than 6 years later, it's tough to say whether Bielema's words still ring in White's ears. But as Whitz trammed his way across the goal line with the New England Patriots game-winning touchdown at Super Bowl LE, he certainly looked like a guy who had learned his lesson. He kind of extended it, but he didn't reach it, like some kids might naturally put it way out in front of him and get it knocked out, said Bielema, now the head coach at Arkansas. "He did exactly what he was coached to do, and it's not surprising to me." Nor is it surprising that Whitz made such a massive impact on football's biggest stage in the first place. Prior to the Patriots' stunning 34-28 win over the Atlanta Falcons in Houston, Whitz, a 2014 fourth-rounder, served primarily as New England's third down back, a quality pass catcher but not necessarily a vital cog in Coach Bill Belichick's machine. Yet he proved invaluable during the team's 25-point second-half comeback, hauling in 9 of his 14 catches for 55 of his 110 receiving yards. "We're sitting on the couch and I'm with my offensive line coach, T.J. Woods, who was with me at Wisconsin, and James is catching all these passes," Oregon State coach Gary Anderson, White's coach during his senior season at Wisconsin, told Fox Sports by phone. "So I look at him in the third quarter, and I'm like, shoot, TJ, why didn't we throw James the ball more?" And Woods looked at me and kind of nodded his head. Yeah, Anderson continued. "But then he looked back at me and said, well, maybe it's because he was too busy rushing for more than 1,000 yards every year." Whitz accounted for a Super Bowl record 20 points, a receiving touchdown, critical 2-point conversion and 2 rushing touchdowns, including the overtime game winner from 2 yards out. "I was sitting there on the couch with my wife, and when he scored his first one she said, maybe he'll be the MVP, and I said, babe, if the Patriots win it, Tom Brady's going to be the MVP," Bielema said. "And then he got his second touchdown, and then the one at the end. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was still pretty sure it would be a minor miracle if he got it. But then when I saw him up on stage at the end of the game, I started getting emotional," Bielema continued. "I saw him put his hands over his face and roll his head back while the other guys were talking. All I was doing was watching him, and all I could think about was when I called his dad after he got drafted by the Patriots, and he was like, 'My son's a Patriot. My son's a Patriot.' He just kept saying that on the phone," Bielema said, "and I just had one of those moments where it was like, wow, a kid I coached is going to be a Super Bowl MVP." Brady, of course, went on to win the award, as expected. Regardless, Bielema said versatility was part of why he recruited Whitz out of Florida prep powerhouse St. Thomas Aquinas. "One of the things I learned early in life is you recruit your own problems, and I knew this, when I was recruiting James Whitz, I wasn't going to have any problems," Bielema said. His demeanor, his ability and the respect he had from his coaches in his locker room in high school were unparalleled, and they had a lot of great players on that team. "And when I got him in my locker room, he didn't have to say a lot to demand respect." That held true throughout White's Wisconsin career, which saw him rush for 4,015 yards and 45 touchdowns, along with 670 receiving yards and 3 scores through the air. When I first got to know him, he was just a hard-working, tough kid, said Anderson, who took over for Bielema in December 2012. Football meant a lot to him, his team meant a lot to him, and you were going to